from my aspect, we've already seen the numbers in regards to the club itself. This path was pretty good. We know that the club face was shut, so it was going left whether we liked it or not. And that shows it from that ball flight there. We can see it going left of target. From this angle, very, very good. Good posture, good balance points here. Shaft sitting in a really nice place. Your arms are hanging down. This is my only concern, given that we're trying to match that spine up with your shoulders. We're going to have a little bit of tilt there because your right hand's lower than your left on the golf club. But because you've got those upper traps working on the left-hand side where it lifts up and Lee's shoulder lifts up, that's where I'm going to get that a bit more control there at address. And that's the only thing we're going to work on address. Here comes the big one. So we start talking about the pressure in your feet, and this is how we're going to do it. Okay, so with K-Vest on, we'll get you in the right dimensions as far as that's concerned. But if I talk about the pressure in your feet, pushing into the ground with that left foot, and if you lose the pressure off that, we will start to see that bottom half moving laterally, and it starts to, that shoulder, that hip goes too much this way. Okay, now this one was okay. We saw the 1 degree from the inside, so it's actually pretty good. But because you start to lock that right side out, and rather than rotating around, I want us to try and get this hip a lot higher than what it is right now. Okay, and then we start to move, and we'll start to see, if you watch that right foot and right chain of your heel, it actually goes out. It goes that way instead of working across. But we'll get to that as far as that's concerned, and we'll just lose a little bit of balance there. So at the top of your backswing, we'll have, instead of you can start to see that top half going forward there. So instead of that left hip going down and this then going this way, we'll keep this left hip a little bit higher, and we'll have more of that angle there. So this will move across just a tad. Okay, and we won't have the arms separated as much as this on the other side. Okay. So then we start to look at some of the other ones. What did they do? Are we doing the same thing? Absolutely. That top half is now going this way as the first movement on the way down.
I don't bloody fix that,
well, it's more about you actually understanding how the backswing works to begin with.
Yeah.
Okay. So if we keep that left hip, what to you is going to feel like that left hip is super high at that point in time there, it's going to be extraordinarily difficult for that top half to move forward. Okay. And you get it in a pretty damn good place. It's the club face is a little open there, so it's going to have to slam shut at some stage. But it's all pretty good there. It's a pretty good move. You get the top of your backswing right, and you'll take care of it from there.
Yep.
As far as that's concerned.
That's good.
So if we start throwing, let's see who I've got here. Let's have a look at Junsuk. Now, Junsuk came second in Nanshan a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
He's running top 5 on the Asian Tour, so he can play a little.
Here.
Yeah, he comes a little. He can play a little. So Junsuk, you start to look at their body shapes, whereas yours is starting to tip. Now Junsuk still goes forward just a little here, but generally speaking, that left hip and that whole left chain is a lot higher than yours. We sort of see, that's over exaggerated, but we'll see yours sit that way. These guys work at a little bit more level here. As far as that's concerned, we have a little bit better body shape that side. Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah.
So we'll end up with that look for you.
Yeah, see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it just drops.
Because of this drop, this gone.
That's exactly right. Exactly right. So let's go and work on that 19 degrees that we saw with that pelvis tilt. This stuff here, and let's get it closer to sort of 6 or 7.
Okay.
Okay.
That's good.